This is Lisa from Handmade Jewelry Haven, and I just wanted to, for those of you that don't know me, I make wire wrap sea glass jewelry, sell it online on my website, handmadejewelryhaven.com. And frequently I get a lot of questions on where sea glass comes from, so I thought I would start a little series of informative short videos, nothing too long, about, the different colors and where they may come from. This is a piece of aqua or light blue sea glass. I'm wondering if you could see it here. It's quite beautiful. Really nicely frosted. People often ask me how long something like that, a piece of glass like that has to be in the water to get that nice smooth finish and that frosted smooth and the corners, no rough corners, which really indicates quite a nice piece. As you can see, I've got some nice pieces and some are just, cracked in transit, or that's how I found them. They're really not, this type of piece isn't so suitable for jewelry, but it's still a beautiful piece anyway. I still love it. And while we were on our recent sea glassing trip to the Jersey Shore, which we love to go there, they've got wonderful sea glass there all along the shore. And this past March, my son was with us, and he's 16. I had the whole family out on the beach scouting for sea glass. It's kind of a thing I roped them all into, but they have fun with it. And my son happened to pick up this fragment. I watched him from afar because we were pretty much wrapping up for the day, and he picked this piece up, and he kind of looked at it. It was just laying right in the surf, right on the beach. I think it was even standing up like this. And he picked it up and he kind of looked at it, and then he tossed it, and then I guess he thought better of it, and he picked it back up and stuffed it in his pocket, and we looked at it later, and I thought, wow, this is really, really a cool find. It's obviously, I don't know if you guys can see from the font on here, it's a very, very old font. Let me see if I can get a good shot of it here. You can just make out the S there, and there's an apostrophe right here, and then there's a beginning, the top of another letter, which I thought could have been either a B or an R. It just had that type of, and I can't make out any of the letters. It was this B or R apostrophe S, and you could tell that this is a extremely old font that was called serif. I know everybody's very familiar with sans serif, and serif basically is these little markings that go at the end of the letter. You see this little exaggerated flick here, and that font was mainly used probably late 1800s, mid 1800s to beginning of 1900s, and so I knew this had to be a pretty old bottle, and it just really, it kind of piqued my curiosity what the heck this could have been. And I had to just do some research on it. I was just that curious. And so I've got a couple of real good sourcing, and I put more of an in-depth blog post, which you can read on later. I'll have a link to it below the video. But as I was searching, and I just really looked at, one of my books that I really love is, if you've ever not gotten Pure Sea Glass, it's like the holy grail of sea glassing books. It's just got a wealth of information in it. And one of the things it was talking about at the turn of the century, where a lot of sea glass comes from, is medicinal bottles. Specifically from the type of people that were like the traveling salesmen that sold, kind of quack remedies for any type of ailment. I mean, they basically went door to door and sold you a bottle of this stuff and told you it would cure anything. And so I started researching bottles, and I actually found online the bottle and the company. It was Ayer's, and it's Sarsaparilla. And this was really marketed as a cure-all for everything. You could see I found this bottle, and it's still intact in beautiful condition, and I had to just get it and show it to you on this video because you could clearly see that it is the same font and the same bottle. It's got all the same characteristics. But this is really where Aqua Seaglass comes from. It'll start from a bottle such as this, gets tossed. Now this bottle I've dated more or less. It's anywhere from 1852 to 1870. So that's what, about 100 and, it's 2018 now, so it's about 148 years old, something like that. So this is amazing that you would even still have an intact, gorgeous bottle. It says compound extract here. Ayer's, the name of the man who marketed this and what it was and where it came from, Lowell, Massachusetts, USA. And to even have something like this intact, it got tossed one day, it got thrown in the surf. This piece is amazingly good condition for as old as it is and being out in the elements. So I think this was probably buried, and a recent storm just happened to uncover it and kick it back up. And because it really doesn't, you know, show, the edges are pretty, they're worn, but they're not, you know, there's still some sharpness to it. So this wasn't really tossed around in the surf too much. And then it makes this beautiful sea glass, which is just really a lot of fun to find. And then what I do with it, of course, is I make pretty jewelry. So you can see here, I have, this is a sea glass necklace, a wire wrapped sea glass necklace. And for all we know, this could have been an Ayer's sarsaparilla bottle at one point in time. But this is what I do. I've made something like this. I also have a bracelet that I have in this pretty color. I love this. This is one of my favorite colors. It's just so fun to work with, you know. And it's a calming color. I find it very calming to work with. So anyway, to find out more about Mr. Ayer, because he had a whole town in Massachusetts named after him, and he has quite a colorful history, please check out my blog post and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to hear some more of these videos. They're kind of fun, and I had fun doing this. I hope you enjoyed it.